Our next keynote speaker is Brian Ballard, CEO and co-founder of APX Labs, a company using smart glasses to create powerful ways for the workforce to interact with the digital and physical world. In his talk, looking at the business impact of smart glasses for work, Brian will share real stories on how businesses are deploying smart glasses into production environments today, alongside insight into where it will all go from here. Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies, I'm just getting an update. Made a mistake. Alberto Torres, CEO of Atheer, is actually next, so just erase what you just heard. Alberto Torres, CEO of Atheer, is our next keynote speaker, the actual keynote speaker coming up here now, here to explore the valuable opportunities there are for smart glasses in the enterprise, looking specifically at the progression of this technology and how the industry has embraced this change to empower and unlock the power of human productivity. Please join me in welcoming Alberto Torres of Atheer to the stage. Sorry about that.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here and share the stage with some other great innovators here. I joined Atheer about 2 years ago, and I spent a decade and a half before that working on a variety of places in the mobile phone industry, in the mobile industry. And the reason I was really fascinated by Atheer is because what I have learned from the mobile industry for a very long time is that we needed to find a new paradigm of computing, because mobile phones are great in many ways, but they have one challenge with their size, is that they're too small when you're actually interacting with them, and they're too big when you're not. So what I mean is, you want to have as big as an experience as you can, but you also, on your pocket, you want something as small as possible. And that trade-off is always complex. And the best way to drive this new generation of computing is to create a smart glass-based computing. So we're very convinced that the next generation of computing is really built around you and is really smart glass-based. And when we think about the next generation of computing, I think more than what typically people call augmented reality. I mean, when we think about augmented reality, we think about really augmented reality, meaning you look at the world and you add information that is relevant to your world. Whatever that information is, whether it's a heads-up display, a 3D object, something floating in there, an alien sitting in the front seat, but just about anything. Think about the kind of experiences you had in Minority Report, where you have screens coming up in the air. All of those are experiences that are possible with this new generation of computing. However, to deliver this type of experience, you have to start. You have to find who are the guys who are going to start who are going to start adopting your computing paradigm. And I think it'd be good to look at how this technology started. If you think about the original PC or the original mobile phone, they were expensive. Actually, both of them were about $9,000 in today's dollars when they were launched. They were sold in relatively small units, about 1,000 sales on the first year of sales, and they were sold to people. Why did people bought these devices? They bought these devices because they could make money with them. They could solve something I couldn't do before. So with respect to the PCs, there were accountants and engineers that had a specific task that couldn't be accomplished without them. When you think about the mobile phone, you have traders and bankers and others for whom getting that rapid information was super critical. And right now, when we think about where we are in smart glasses, and particularly interactive smart glasses, we're also going to have to find those key use cases. And I'll walk you through our insights on what those use cases are. But I think it's rather important that we understand that evolution, because I think we very quickly jumped to compare the experiences that you have today with, say, the latest iPhone to what you can do on glasses. I think we're in a different development point, but the potential of glasses is so much stronger. I mean, really is the all-encompassing computing platform. So we believe that we have to start by changing the way people who are what we call deskless professionals. So these are folks who are generally in the field, in factories, in all kinds of places that generally don't have a desk. There could be doctors, etc. And they're professionals. They're actually doing some complicated things. And I'll come back to the kinds of things you can do. And our objective really is to allow those people to see the world differently, to have the ability to enhance their world, but also very importantly, to interact with it. One of the key things, and is in this type of computing, if you have ever used smart glasses, one of the key frustrations that people have is, how do I interact with content? And that's one of the key things that Atheer has been focusing on from a perspective of interactivity. So I'm gonna try to focus the majority of the talk on the applications themselves and what we're learning from customers. But I want to start with a brief overview of kind of what our architecture, because developing this type of applications is complex. And I think whether you use architecture or some others, you have to get all these pieces together to work. First of all, obviously, you need to have a device, but the device itself is not that important. It really is all about experience and the capabilities that you deliver on your software. So in our at the core of what we do is the Atheer Air glasses powered by Air OS. We really focus on creating rich experiences that are interactive, they're mobile, and really focus on enterprise. And the question is, how do you get content in there? And this is one of the number one problems or maybe it's the number one problem for glasses today, which is, if you need to create content specifically for AR applications, it's a costly endeavor. Some people will do it, and it's definitely worth it for some people, but for others, it's a difficult task. And how do you integrate this to your backend? So the way we address it is we make our system to be Android compatible, which basically means that you can take any existing application that runs on Android, and it will run in our glasses. It may or may not be the best experience. You might want to change that application to take more advantage of what the glasses can do. You can have multiple screens. You can do a lot of things, but you can start with you want to see Google Maps here and be able to interact with it and do everything you do on a touch screen, pinch to zoom, swipe, etc. In the air. You can do it today. And of course, Android is really the door into the back end of all the enterprises that we work with. So one of the key things for us is that most of these enterprises have applications, have all kinds of systems, IoT systems, drones, and pretty much all of these have some form of control that is already mobile in Android, and we are able to leverage that. However, when we actually started to work with customers, what we found is that there's also an application that is very specific to glasses, and we tend to think about it as the Office for glasses. If you think about Office being the killer app of the PC, the killer app for us is what we call the Air Suite, which is really a combination of collaboration and task flows. And generally, in simple terms, you want to be able to allow the person on the field that's wearing the glasses to be able to communicate, share their point of view, receive files, a whole set of interactions that are very critical. And also, you want to be able to share not only content of any sort, but also you want to be able to share instructions. And we have created an application that we call the Air Suite that essentially does that. And to complete the circle, we realized, hey, this application is great on our glasses, but our glasses have also, they have a particular characteristics. They're for very demanding applications. Some people want different types of of glasses, and we are very proud of working with some key partners. So, for example, Vuzix and Recon have been our partners, and we just announced a partnership with ODG, and that provides our customers also a choice and an ability to deploy applications very quickly. So anyhow, this is a bit our architecture and the way we see the world. Let me go into the actual applications. So the key thing is to start the conversation with what does the customer actually need? Who's the customer and what do they need? And what we have done over the last year and a half is been, actually 2 years, is been really connecting with pretty much all kinds of customers out there in the heavy machinery area, utilities, logistics, insurance, medical. We've been learning about what do they need? What are the things that they want to achieve with this technology? And particularly what are the early applications that are going to drive the adoption of smart glasses on enterprise? And we came up with an acronym which is called FAST. And FAST stands for Fix, Assemble, Survey, and Treat. So let me walk through some of these applications and what they can be. First of all, Fix is field services and remote support. Really critical applications. If you think about anyone that has an expensive system out there, think about a plane. If a plane is on the ground because it's being repaired, it costs the airline roughly $15,000 an hour. So if you're able to save half an hour, you will often pay for the investment that you do on glasses. Just on one repair, half an hour. Obviously, you will be able to save a lot more on that front. Also, imagine that you are a semiconductor equipment company and you ship this incredibly complicated equipment to your customers, and then they actually look at they have a problem with the machine. They call you. You have to send somebody there. Maybe they don't have the part that you need. Imagine that you equip your customer with glasses, and the customer now, when they call you, rather than call you, they call you through the glasses. You actually see what they see, but you also can provide that customer step-by-step instructions, all kinds of information that may allow the customer to either fix the problem or at least diagnose the problem, so when the guy shows up to the customer side, he's bringing the right parts and can actually fix the problem far more effectively. And again, there's real money in those type of situations. Assembly, logistics, lots of opportunities, particularly for step-by-step instructions in that front. Survey is maybe one that we don't think so much on a daily basis, but it's super critical. So imagine, for example, you're in the insurance world and you insure large projects, like you insure refineries and factories and those type of situations. The key thing here is, you don't want to ever have to pay on something going wrong there. So you basically, most insurance companies that do that have hundreds or thousands of people, essentially high-level engineers, constantly going to those places and looking for potential risks. But they don't always have all the tools they need to make those type of inspections. And we are finding that with smart glasses we can really enhance their productivity, as well as in areas like construction, for example. Finally, there's the medical field. Lots of applications there, from in the surgery room. We have an amazing partnership with Massimo, the medical devices company, where we are prototyping a solution for anesthesiologists that we expect to be in operating rooms hopefully in the not so distant future. We are looking at telemedicine, ultrasound, so many applications. So, and the reason we imagine these things is because in a way we don't have to imagine them, because we're actually working with real customers to develop these applications. So we have roughly 40 customers. These are 4 that we can mention: Duke Energy, Flex, Zurich, Massimo, very very large companies, and we have quite a number of others as well. So in summary, we think really enterprise is the beginning of this revolution of AR computing, and is really starting with these fast cases. There's a lot more cases on the enterprise. You can do all kinds of magical things with the enterprise, but these fast cases are really where we think the action is in the short term. Then there will come prosumer. I think the first applications on consumer are going to be things like extreme sports, scuba diving, drone flying. And soon after that, or at some point in the future, let's put it that way, there will be a broader consumer deployment of this type of technology. Our view is that's going to take a minimum of 3 years, probably more. So the real focus of what we are doing is really on the enterprise. Thank you.